name's Callum and welcome to my first video. The aim is today is to look for somewhere to camp. Obviously we're coming to the end of summer and autumn and it's getting a bit cooler, so I'm looking for somewhere to build an A-frame shelter or something along those lines. Never made one before, so yeah, it should be exciting, so let's go. So the aim first is try and find a location that's suitable. So you don't want anything with any overhanging wood, such as that could fall on you on the night or when you're working. You want an area that's not too wet, there's not any wind, and there's plenty of wood to build your shelter. So we'll quickly have a look round. Here, this area is a mix on the outskirts of deciduous. So there's a lot of beech, silver birch, and some ash and hazel, and then as we go further in there's pine. It's quite wet around this area, so we'll have a quick look and try and find somewhere to build. So as we come to this area, as you can see, there's a lot of trees down. It means there's a lot of wood to use, but obviously we've got to make sure if we build a camp that nothing else is going to fall on us. So I'm kind of hoping that all the trees are going to come down, have come down, because it's left quite a lot of open area now. Actually, there's a lot of sky and there's more bushes and green coming through. So yeah, I don't want to be cutting down any trees. I want to keep it quite hidden away. So we'll just have a further look in this way and see what we can find. So this is the first area I've kind of found and come across. As you can see, there's a lot of wood there we could use. We could even pick one of those to use as a ridgeline and then put our logs up against it. It drops down, and maybe we could dig that back, level it out, so we'd have a nice high shelter when within it, but from the outside wouldn't actually be that big dimensionally. So that could be an option. Things to obviously make sure that it's probably going to be quite wet down there. We have had quite a lot of rain recently. It is raining now, so it doesn't look too bad, but we'll move on and have a look for somewhere else. So I found another area for something a bit natural to help us build. We got a tree that's come over and pulled up a load of dirt. I'll try and back up a bit so you can see it. It's quite high. They drop down into it. I'll show you how tall it is. Obviously all this would probably need to get dug back. Probably a lot of work, but I am 6'2", and that is about 7 foot, so it would be quite a lot of headroom in there, but a lot of work digging this out and leveling out the area with that massive rock. See if we can find something else. Here's another option, some similar sort of thing, a lot flatter this time. Nice strong ridge line. You see it's very big, but it's very low. This would need quite a lot of digging out to get it to a usable height without me crouching the whole time. Let's see if we can find anything else then. So another option here, similar sort of thing, but this one is massive. Can you imagine how high that centre ridge line would be in here? As you can see, like I said, I'm 6 foot. Don't know if you can see me, but that is pretty high. It's quite flat. It's a nice rock there. Seems like a pretty good choice, but typically, can you see those? I'll try and get a better shot, but they are ready to come over and you do not want to be under them and you don't want them to land on you. So if I quickly move up here and give you a bigger or better view. Got that. See, right over the top. of that nice flat area. So I'm thinking of going back to the second one I showed. So I want to try and keep it quite private because there's quite a few people that use this area, and I don't want to put a load of effort into it and end up having it destroyed with some kids or people coming up here. So yes, let's go back and have a look at a other option. So I've decided to come back to the first option. It's not the clearest, and there's a lot of digging to do on this one, but as you can see, there's no deadfall. Some of you, the guys who've done this a bit more than me, probably are going to tell me I'm making a big mistake, but we'll give it a go and we'll learn from it and not pick an area like this again if it doesn't work, but it could work. With digging it in, which obviously mean that I'd have to do less cutting of the wood, which is a bonus, which means I just got to do more digging, but I haven't got to find wood. But like I said, we're not really short on wood in this area. But yeah, I'll try and clear it up a little bit so you get more of an idea of what's going on. I'm down in the hole. It's a bit soft, but obviously I brought some of this banking down. It's going to be quite easy to bring it down, to fill in this, flatten it out, clear all these logs out. I've got this couple of different ridge lines I could choose. Probably this one because it's bang in the middle. Maybe I'll cut the one end and drop it, dig her in a bit. There's more of a flatter line. But yeah, once this is cleared out, I think we'd have a decent amount of space. But like I said, there's a hell of a lot of digging, which might be a mistake, but I don't know. Let's find out. I'm going to start doing first, just clearing the area where we're working, get rid of these where it could end up poking us in the eye. We don't want that. Anything we can just bang our heads on, so we'll just get rid of the rubbish first, and the slippy stuff and the stuff we're going to trip over, and yeah, we'll go from there, see how it looks. So, just trying to move this one out of the way, so we just got a clear area to work, and obviously it's over quite a long span, so it's bowing right in the middle, and obviously when we're cutting it, it's pinching. So I'm just going to try and find a decent sized bit of stick that we can lever it and cut through, and then once that's down, it should be a bit easier to process the rest. So yeah, we're just going to have a quick look now, cut some, lever it, and yeah, see if it works. The rain's coming down a bit now. It's kind of dry, so just trying to keep all the stick as well that we're removing from around, just so we can put it back on after, so it kind of blends in the cabin slightly, so it's not going to be hitting you straight in the face if someone doesn't know a shern is walking up the woods and it doesn't stand out like a sore thumb. So yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, so we're just going to process this. You want something that's has a decent length to it, just so you can get a decent leverage. So I'll process this down a little bit, probably make it about 10 foot, and take some of the nubbins off so it doesn't get poked by it. So it should give us a decent bar to leverage it with. So I've processed this down a bit. It's about 7 foot. Not quite as big as I said it was going to be. but I've taken all these knots and branches off just to stop you getting poked by anything really. Taking that off with an axe. So what I'm going to do is use this as my lever on a fulcrum to lift that trunk up to allow us to open up that saw cut and to actually get the blade through it. So I'm going to do, there's a stump on the floor here, so I'm going to place this on there, and as you can see that's lifting that already and not even putting much pressure on it at all. So all I can do is stand on it, it's not going anywhere, the weight's been taken off that cut, so I should be able to cut through it. You see how much that's going up and down, so that should help out a lot. We'll give it a go. As you can see, we had a bit of trouble with that. I'm not the most experienced sawyer. Probably after this, I'll know what I'm doing a bit more. It worked anyway. After a little bit of mess around, so next cut should just literally drop off really easily, and then we can start removing some of the other wood and then putting some on the ridgeline. It is raining quite a bit now, so we're going to call her a day. And I hope you enjoyed it and follow in for the next update. I've come up on a day after work, so I haven't really had that much time. I work half days on a Friday, so I can come up here literally from 12 o'clock to get some time in. The weather's looking a bit better on the weekend, so yeah, hopefully I can get a decent update for you. Thanks. Bye. So I'm back home. Just because I've been working out in the wet, you just got to make sure all your tools are completely dry before you put them away, because otherwise you're going to end up coming back to use them and they're going to be all rusty. So I just give them all a wipe off. I normally leave my axe cover off but hang in a safe place where it's not going to fall off or hit anyone, and that just stops the moisture being trapped between the axe head and the cover. As you can see, this has had quite a lot of damage. Lent it to a friend and they had to go with cutting some wood or splitting some wood, and they overstruck and hit the handle. I tried cleaning it up, but basically I used it again I think a week after, and it just started splitting more. I have got a new axe. I've got a Grand 4 Brute small forest axe. I haven't used it yet, but I thought because it was wet I wasn't going to be bringing that out already. But like I said, just wipe all the tools off and then store them in a dry place where they're nice and safe and they're not going to hurt anyone. Thank you, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Bye.